Hello and welcome to another episode of This Week in the SFFL from Lino Lakes, Minnesota. I'm the commish, and as always I'm joined from Brownwood, Texas by my co-host with his 3 luxury sleds in the driveway, Mr. Mike Paddock.
So sit back, relax, and grab yourself a cold one. It's your home of all things SFFL and fantasy football. It's TWITS, and it starts right now.
Tonight's episode of TWITS is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
All right, Mikey, we are back, and better than ever, hopefully, for week 13 of TWITS after a 1-week hiatus due to the Thanksgiving holiday. Most of our marketing firm told us, they did the research on the Google metrics and stuff. Our Thanksgiving show just wasn't really, it was a little cost prohibitive, I guess is the best way to describe it. So we took the week off, and Mike, we're back right in the heart of the football season here, fantasy season. Things starting to get sorted out a little bit.
Right at the tail end of No Shave November, too.
Yeah, looking good.
I've got 9 days to go.
Uh-huh. Now, how long are you running that till? So you're running it until like December or something?
December 6th, then they determine what I have to shave into my face.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it's like a G for Green Bay or something.
Good, you should get SFFL in there, the SFFL logo.
I should. If you pay enough, I'll do it.
Alright. I'll league safe it. Last week, Mike, we had, I don't know if you noticed this, but last week, like I said, we were off, but I did notice that all the matchups last week, Mike, if you tallied up the wins and losses among the owners who were facing one another, it came out to 11 across the board. It was a bunch of, I think it had 1-7-4 against a 4-7, and then it was a bunch of 5s and 6s against 6s and 5s, Mike. So someone should send in and ask the commish question and get free premium content on if that's ever happened before. I'm guessing it has not.
It only happens in November.
Mm-hmm. Mike, also, little chit-chat news and notes here. This is the first week, speaking of being in the stretch run, where we'll have some intra-conference play. So last 4 weeks, I think we've had AFC versus NFC in every matchup, and now you're going to see your people in your division at least. Over the next 5 weeks, you'll play all 4 people one time. So that will further sort things out here.
Time to make up some ground.
Exactly, or lose it. Mike, on the northern front tonight, we'll get right into our sponsors. The northern tier is being sponsored by a beer called Skull Splitter.
That sounds pretty good.
From the Orkney Brewery. Identified as a rich, sophisticated ale, satiny smooth with deceptively light character.
And does it?
I would not call it deceptively smooth. I think it's actually got a little bit of the spicy hops in there. I'm trying to look to see where this is. Brewed in Scotland.
Ooh.
And imported by St. Killian out of Kingston, Massachusetts. So, yeah, they're in Scotland. So, yeah, definitely good stuff, but I think the description might be a little bit on the propaganda side. How about you?
I am going with the Shock Top End of the World Midnight Wheat. Ale brewed with midnight wheat, chocolate malt, and spice, chili and spice.
Wow.
So that's a nod to the Mayans there. End of the World coming up next month.
Yeah.
12/21/12.
I did not know that Shock Top ventured into such endeavors. So
It's good
All
stuff.
right.
Good stuff. You like dark wheats.
All right, Mike, let's take a look at the weekly rewind for week number 12. We had Bill taking on Tom, and Bill picked up Mr. Bryce Brown to replace LaShawn McCoy, and I'm guessing he was wishing Bryce Brown was playing the whole time. 20 points out of Bryce to best Doug Martin's 14 and a 67-43 win. Evan and Mickey squared off in another battle of running backs, Mike. Arian Foster, 17, Chris Wells, Colin Beanie, 14, 55-49. Mickey took the victory in that one. We had Greg and Thad squaring off. No love lost there. And Tom Brady, Thad in an 83-53 win, which I believe, Mike, is a little bit of a 12-pack in your hands.
Oh, yeah.
Is that correct?
It is. 30 on the nose.
30 on the nose. Tim and I squared off in a little set 2, and the commish sneaked one out 58-56. Tim had a decent lead, and all of a sudden, Tim got back-to-back Drew Brees interceptions for touchdowns to close things up quite tightly. And that in the San Diego-Baltimore game goes into overtime, in which he had Ray Rice and Anquan Bolden. But I got some Steve Smith love on Monday night, and there hadn't been a lot of that. You get the win by 2. And then Mike, speaking of 12 packs changing hands, 72-28 over Wayne. Mike, RG3, 19 to pace the way for you, and then Matt Schaub led Wayne's squad with 9 points. All right, well, that was the week that was, Mike, for week 12. Why don't we take a look now, Mike, at the segment that's sweeping YouTube and VH1 Classic, a little how they were built.
How they were built. Looking again at the week's top scorer, I thought it was going to be me coming out of that Thursday game Thursday day with 54 points and only 4 players down. But no, it is one Thad Palmer. So Thad pulls out 83 points last week, and I took a little bit of a deeper look at his roster, and I was surprised to find that from quarterback down to tight end, those are all draft choices this year. First to the 6th round. So we started with Tom Brady with 15 points and 6 bonus as his first round draft pick. And then Forte coming in with 2 bonus points. That was his 2nd round pick. And then Jamal Charles had 5 bonus points. That was his 4th round pick. And then back to 3rd round pick, which was Wes Welker coming in with 6. So he scored a touchdown and 3 bonus points. And then Des Bryant with 12 points and regular points, so 2 touchdowns and 7 bonus points was his 5th round pick. And then Vernon Davis got him the big goose egg, but that was his 6th round pick this year. Then he filled it out nicely with place kicker Mike Nugent, who got him 11 points, which was a week 4 pickup for $10, maybe a free agent frenzy. And then he picked up St. Louis defense back in week 11. So a nice job looking ahead there. St. Louis actually scored him 16 points on defense, giving him 83 points this week. And that is how they were built.
Very nice. Yeah, I have yet to taste the sweet nectar of having your defense score double-digit points this year. It's that definitely makes it a little easier on the squad. So I'm hoping to get my love at the end of the year here, so to speak. All right, Mike, well, let's take a brief look at record setters. We had a couple this past week, no single owner records, but most combined defensive points, we had 65. That was good enough for 7th place all time. And then we also had the 8th most combined running back points in the SFFL with 166. So averaging about 80 points a running back across the board in the SFFL. So a couple of top teners.
Nice.
Mike, let's take a look what we've got coming up on tap in the Spotlight matchup.
Sondo, your spotlight matchup includes you. Always check your camera's flash setting. Coming in at 8-4, leading the way in the NFC. 715 points. And Evan, the Minnesota Vikings. Oh my gosh, we got a change of the names finally. Changing the guards. Evan's at 6-6.
What the hell? The Chilean Miners can get no love?
They must have pulled up the last one or something after 3 years. But Evan's coming in at 6-6 with 586 points. You do lead that all-time points, 1174 to 1069, and the series 16-15. But Evan has won 7 of the last 10, and if he wins this one, the all-time series will be tied. We'll see what happens.
That's right. Also, Mike, the most points scored in this series was 69 by myself in a 69-66 victory back in 2010.
Ooh, you eked that one out.
Yeah, well, side note. It's kind of information we give you here on TWITS. Mike, premium password. We got, for week 14, this current week, password is Gopher. Singular, Gopher, not Gophers. Mike, the Gophers probably either on their way to the Meineke Car Care Bowl in Houston or the Heart of Dallas Bowl.
Really?
Yeah, it kind of depends upon what they want to do in terms of the selection order, but yeah, it looks like either Meineke or another possibility is the Buffalo Wild Wing Bowl, which is that's the former Insight Bowl. I'm not sure. I think that's somewhere in Texas too.
Is the Heart of Dallas Bowl, is that at Jerry Jones Palace or Cotton Bowl?
I believe that is at JJP. And that is a January 1 bowl. For some reason, they have like 2 bowls on January 1 and second that mean nothing. But, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. And then for week 15, Mike, password is Xmas. Xmas. A little reminder for you to go out there and find that special commissioner a
Rutgers helmet.
A worthy Christmas gift. So
Maryland or Rutgers?
Yeah, Maryland or Rutgers. Those will look good. And the good news is that Maryland has like 58 different helmets thanks to Nike or whoever that is. So should be fun. Mike, let's get to everyone's tertiary favorite topic on this show, a little segment we here at TWITS call Chalk Talk. Mike, when we last left you, the Chalk Talk was at 6-3, looking to bump to 70%. Had it locked in on your Purdue Boilermakers, Mike, and laying 7 against Illinois, and that bastard Nathan Shieldhouse runs one in with about 2 minutes left. To cut it to a 3-point lead, and the Boilers, I think, ran the clock out after that. So, got a backdoor cover from Illinois to squish my hopes and move me to 6-4. So, pretty much need to run the table and hope you take a big dive in order to catch the dog. So, this week, we're going to go with NFL play, seeing how the college slate is fairly limited. We're going to go with the Baltimore Ravens, Mike. Baltimore Ravens are a 3-point favorite. Let me check that. Oh, 3.5. 3.5-point favorite at home this weekend against your Pittsburgh Steelers. And much like the dog a couple of weeks ago, I'm going to take the Ravens to beat the probably Ben Roethlisberger-less Pittsburgh Steelers. So I just don't like the way either of those quarterbacks play for Pittsburgh. Obviously, Cleveland just beat them last week, so I'll lay the field goal. So we'll take Baltimore this week in a little Chalk Talk W.
Nice.
Mike, what do we got? Dog of the week. 9-1 on the year, Mike. You are. Baltimore plus 3.5 against Pittsburgh last time. Once again, points not needed. So everyone's sitting here with bated breath. Mike, what do you got for us?
And the Vegas odds makers obviously took note of the fact that the Steelers have not beaten Baltimore without Ben Roethlisberger, so they flipped it around the other way for you.
Yep.
I'm going to do something I hate to do, and that is pick the dog against Green Bay. Green Bay is laying 8 to Minnesota at home. I think Green Bay can win this one, but 8 points is a little much for my blood with AP on the other side running the ball and somewhat rejuvenated Vikings defense. I believe Antoine Winfield is back and healthy, and I just see that being a little bit closer than 8 points. So I look for the Packers to win it, but Minnesota should cover with that big fat snowman. And that is your dog of the week.
I like it. Yeah, I think that one's going to be closer than the experts think, too. Especially after the debacle in New York last week. Speaking of Sunday night games, Mike, let's get to the game of the week. Last time we both had Chicago in a win. Well, we had San Francisco. They beat Chicago. We both had the Niners. So you moved to 5-5, and I moved to 4-6 on the year. And this week, Mike, we're going to take a look at the Sunday night game. The Giants travel to the somewhat unfriendly confines of FedEx Field. What do we got in that one?
Well, I'll take last week into account, but I mean, I've heard it said before, Giants in their late season surge. But their defense is playing pretty well. Eli still has a bit of a noodle arm. He should have been picked off at least twice in that Packers game, and they missed them both. So it's going to be a little bit tight, but I still think that the Giants can pull this one out with their running game and the healthy Hakeem Nicks and their receiving core. So I would like New York in this one.
Not so fast, my friend. The Redskins at home always give the Giants trouble. It doesn't matter what the records are. If they're 12-4 versus 4-12, which is pretty much impossible. But you know what I'm saying? I think RG3 has enough against that defense. Antonio Brown going out, I think, hurts them a little bit at the Giants running back situation. Their rookie from, I believe, Virginia Tech, Wilson, I think, will fill in okay. But I like on the slow track. I'm sure they're going to let the grass grow at the former RFK there. I think it's going to be an extremely close game, but it just always seems like the Redskins give them trouble. So I'm gonna take RG3 to break out again, just like he did on Thanksgiving, and put a big L on the New York Giants, which after last week I would like nothing better than to see. So. All right, Mike. Well, that just about wraps up week number 11, or excuse me, week number 13. Don't want to sell ourselves short here. Week number 13 edition of TWITS. If you'd like to see this episode or any past episode of TWITS, just head on over to vh1classic.com or go to YouTube and search the keyword TWITS. So for my co-host Mike Paddock, we'll say goodnight and we'll see everyone back here for the Week 14 edition of TWITS.
Adios.